Malaysia, a diverse and vibrant country known for its harmonious blend of modernity and tradition. From the bustling streets of Kuala Lumpur to the tranquil beaches of Langkawi, Malaysia's urbanization has brought remarkable transformation across its cities. However, significant shifts in the lifestyle and dietary habits of the population were observed. One notable change is the increased consumption of high-protein foods due to the greater access to protein, leading to a surge in demand for this macronutrient. Malaysian food consumption has been trending over the past few decades between 1980 and 2014. The market for animal-based proteins grew by 59%, surpassing the need for protein from plants. Traditionally, we've relied on meat and dairy products for protein. However, large-scale livestock farming can have a negative impact on the environment, contributing to deforestation, water pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. Even more concerning is that up to 90% of Malaysia's red meat consumption is reliant on imports, significantly raising the carbon cost of bringing meat to the table considerably. The heavy dependence on imported protein sources not only escalates environmental impact, but also underscores the vulnerability in food security. With these concerns, our local food scientists are looking for more sustainable protein sources, with one ingredient currently rising in popularity: the black soldier fly larvae.
Black soldier fly may seem like an unassuming insect, an ordinary fly that you can just swipe away when it approaches. Begs the question as to why is it an interest to food scientists? Our local experts may have an answer to that.
There's an increased interest in opting for alternative proteins such as the insect. One of it is the black soldier fly larvae. So black soldier fly larvae sparking so much of interest in recent years is because there is a high efficiency of converting waste into gold, which is the protein source. So black soldier fly larvae can be farmed using organic waste substrates. It could be scrap from the kitchen that can be fed to the larvae, and it could be turned into protein source. So because of this ease in the farming of the black soldier fly larvae, it actually contributed to a lot of researchers trying to observe and also trying to study how this could be an alternative and sustainable food source. At the moment, most of the productions are actually in very small scales. It could be a small container or a small area beside your garden or beside your kitchens that you can actually use to rear these black soldier fly larvae. These insects could be used as a sustainable protein alternative in the future for more people to access to it, and also to act as a food products to cater for the food security issues.
With that being said, the black soldier fly larvae has a high flexibility that can be reared with low efforts. So let us explore how our local community explores this insect, coming to Taylor's University of Malaysia.
Welcome to visit the Endomo Mobile Bioconversion Center. This is a facility and center that we use to farm the black soldier fly larvae. Here, this one is the tray that we use to put on the food waste. We have to collect the food waste. Black soldier fly is an insect that is very high in fat and protein, so it can be used as an alternative feed for animal, and it can also serve as a functional ingredient for future human food.
That is true. Food waste is actually a valuable resource rich in nutrients. Instead of allowing it to rot away in landfills, farming this insect provides an opportunity to repurpose it into high-quality feed.
What you see here is basically the kitchen waste that generated in Taylor's kitchen from some of the restaurant and also from some of the culinary classes. This is basically the larvae that we have farmed for 5 days. In the whole cycle of farming, the larvae grow from young larvae to adult larvae. It only needs 7 days. The larvae has a very short life cycle. Let's say you talk about the domesticated animal like chicken, a cow. It needs weeks of months to grow before you sell it to the market. The kitchen waste that we have collected after fermentation, it will actually go through this grinder right into the smaller size. Depends on the nature and characteristic of the waste. If the waste is very dry, then we have to add a bit of water to produce a more wet mixture before we farm the black soldier fly.
Adding on to that, the essential amino acid composition of black soldier fly larvae is actually shown to be high, even more so enough to meet the dietary requirements of adults set by the Food and Agricultural Organization and the World Health Organization.
So as you can see, the farming of the black soldier fly larvae is very simple and easy to, but the impact behind it is very significant. Because for now, the black soldier fly, even though it's only used as an animal feed, but in future, our Taylor's research team would like to explore more possibility on it using the black soldier fly larvae and also the black soldier fly oil and incorporate it into more human food as a functional ingredient.
Despite the significant potential of black soldier fly larvae as a potential protein source, many Malaysians remain reluctant to the idea of eating insects. We turn back to Dr. Yeo to understand more about this issue.
But of course, it actually comes with a few challenges. One of it is that in some parts of the region, there is regulations that may restrict the use of black soldier fly larvae, and we are also not very sure about some of the safety and also standard concerning the use of black soldier fly larvae. Not to mention about the consumers' acceptance, where the populations, the citizens there might not be able to accept it as a food source yet.
Lawful status of black soldier fly larvae also remains a challenge. Being a Muslim majority nation, the halal certification is paramount for market penetration and acceptance, further posing a challenge to adopt the black soldier fly larvae in our local food chain. So how do we tackle these challenges? Well, our local food scientists have been actively searching for solutions. Let us hear more about it from Taylor's University's very own master's student, whose research project is based around black soldier fly larvae.
Some of the researchers have also highlighted through two major approaches. The first one would be to educate the end consumers on the benefit of BSFL and on how sustainable they are. Many does not like the idea of eating insects due to this food neophobia and also due to their unappealing appearances. So by transforming it into other familiar food products like the biscuits or meat analog, or through food processing, incorporated it into other food products, might be a better way to introduce the end consumers on edible insect as a novel food ingredient.
Hui Ting's research project also dives into the exploration of black soldier fly larvae as a protein source through three-dimensional food printing.
So for my research, it's actually separated into two major parts. So for the first part, I'm studying on the protein quality of BSFL, specifically the amino acid composition of BSFL and their protein digestibility through the in vivo DIAS method. For my research, I'm using animal work, and for this part, I'm using the rats. So for the second part of my study is actually to study on the rheological properties and printing performance of BSFL-based food ink. So the objective of my study for this part is to study on the effect of the addition of different hydrocolloids on the BSFL-based food ink, on their rheological properties and their printing performance.
Interestingly, many studies suggest hiding insects in familiar foods might be more palatable to consumers, like biscuits made from insect flour. The incorporation of black soldier fly larvae into common food products such as mayonnaise and butter have been actively researched by our junior food scientists who came up with remarkable recipes. Black soldier fly larvae is a potential food source that is both high in nutrients and is sustainable. But overcoming public aversion, establishing clear regulations, and ensuring halal compliance are crucial steps to wider acceptance of insects as a sustainable protein source.
Some may not thought that it might be a food, but through food science and technology, we can make it into a food, and it might be able to tackle the issues on food security in the future.
Starting from the innovative ideas of global experts to cultivating the next generation of food scientists. That is how we shape the future of food.
Very fast, only 5 minutes. 是啦，要钻下去吃东西啊。
Okay, I think with recent
Soldier fly is very simple